Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, man shot and killed in rural St. Andrew. A 32-year-old resident of Fernhill Lawrence Tavern in St. Andrew was shot and killed at a bar in the nearby community of Grant Hill on Saturday night. The deceased has been identified as O'Shane Blackwood. It is reported that Blackwood was at a bar about 9:30 p.m. when he was shot and killed by unknown assailants who escaped. No motive has been established for the killing. The Lawrence Tavern police are investigating. Man shot dead after reportedly trying to disarm cop, firearm seized. A man was shot dead by the police and a firearm seized during an incident at a gully along Content Avenue, Kingston 10 on Saturday. Up to press time Sunday morning, the dead man was still unidentified. Reports are that around 12:05 p.m., police were on patrol in the Content Avenue area when they observed the two men who saw the service vehicle and ran. The police gave chase and accosted one of the men. One of the cops searched the now deceased and found a 9mm Smith & Wesson firearm in his waistband. The man, the police reported, attempted to disarm the cop when one of the other lawmen, in fear for his life and that of his colleague, opened fire to neutralize the threat. The man was shot, injured, and taken to the Kingston Public Hospital, where doctors pronounced him dead on arrival. None of the cops were hurt during the incident, the police said. His court date has not yet been finalized. Man sentenced to 62 years in prison for shooting and firearm charges. A 22-year-old man was sentenced to more than 62 years in prison when he appeared in the gun court last Friday. Jaim Neal, otherwise called a Tuggy, from East Road in Trenchtown, Kingston 12, was before the court charged with possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and 2 counts of shooting with intent. He was found guilty and sentenced to 22 years and 6 months for possession of a prohibited weapon and 20 years and 6 months on each count of shooting with intent. The sentences are to run concurrently, meaning he will serve a total of 22 years and 6 months behind the bars. Neal was charged in connection with an incident that was committed on January 7, 2023, where he was accused of shooting at 2 men on East Road. He was charged on April 4 that same year and placed before the court. Allegations are that the incident stemmed from a long-standing family dispute. According to court documents, the men who resided in the same community as Neal were accompanying a friend home from a party sometime in the early morning on the day of the incident. Upon reaching a section of the scheme close to the building where the accused lived, the complainant said they observed Neal with a firearm. It is said that Neal then pulled the firearm, fired 2 shots in the direction of the complainant, and fled the area on foot. Data on Jamaicans' views influenced Goulding's decision to renounce British citizenship. Opposition leader Mark Goulding has disclosed that data on the views of Jamaicans on the issue of political leaders holding dual citizenship informed his decision to take steps to renounce his British citizenship. Goulding announced his intention to renounce his citizenship of the United Kingdom on Sunday during a People's National Party meeting. Goulding said he had pledged that if it became apparent that the public's views was that political leaders should be exclusively Jamaican citizens, he would take that into account. Comrades, we have reached a point now where we have some data on the views of the public on this matter, and I do not want my status to be something which could hold the party back, impact the party negatively, or any of our candidates who are on the way to victory in difficult seats, which we are looking to win, to have any kind of disadvantage because of my status, Goulding said. He said as a result, he has decided to take that issue off the table by renouncing his British citizenship. In May, Goulding indicated that he remains a British citizen, but insisted that there was no legal basis for him to renounce his status in the United Kingdom at this time. I am a Jamaican citizen by birth. I am also a UK citizen by descent. I have not renounced my British citizenship, as it is not legally necessary for me to do so, Golding told the news then. However, since then, there have been calls for him to renounce, particularly from members of the ruling Jamaica Labour Party. NWA fast-tracking cleaning of Sandy Gully and other drains ahead of burial. The National Works Agency has been instructed to fast-track cleaning of the Sandy Gully in St. Andrew and other drains as Hurricane Beryl heads west towards Jamaica and other Caribbean islands. It's among several directives issued to the agency by a minister with responsibility for works in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Robert Morgan. Morgan says work on critical infrastructure, such as the lower section of the Sandy Gully, began on Saturday. He says work on the drain was to commence next week, but is being fast-tracked. Meanwhile, he has instructed that all personnel and NWA parish offices be put on standby to respond to the possible effects of burial. Heavy equipment are to be pre-positioned to address the potential challenges, and the drain cleaning works are to be ramped up. The NWA says inspections are being conducted on major roads and the bridges to ensure their integrity and safety during the storm. Opposition urges farmers to prepare for hurricane season. Opposition spokesperson on agriculture, Dr. Dayton Campbell, is urging local farmers to make proper preparations amidst the hurricane season. This call comes as Beryl, the first hurricane of the 2024 Atlantic season, threatened into an extremely dangerous Category 4 storm Sunday as it threatened the southeast Caribbean with potentially life-threatening winds and a storm surge. In a statement on Saturday, Dr. Campbell noted that it is crucial to be prepared and to take necessary precautions to safeguard lives, livestock, and property during this period of potential extreme weather conditions. This hurricane season is forecasted to bring increased rainfall and heighten the risk of flooding. Due to the escalating impacts of climate change, we can anticipate more severe weather patterns than usual. Farmers must be vigilant and ready to face these challenges, he said. Dr. Campbell is encouraging farmers without access to regular news updates to communicate their needs for timely assistance. He also urged all farmers to take the following preventative measures: move livestock to higher ground to minimize the risk of flooding and ensure their safety. Refrain from attempting to cross flooded areas to rescue animals, as this can be extremely dangerous. Stay informed about weather updates through radio and television to make timely decisions. Secure livestock feed and water storage containers in advance to sustain livestock during emergencies, and report any urgent situations or distress to relevant authorities promptly. The opposition spokesman also urged the government to establish a dedicated rescue team to assist the livestock farmers in the event of emergencies. He added that provisions such as feed, water storage containers, flashlights, and water boots should be made available to support the farmers during crisis. As we face the uncertainties of the upcoming hurricane season, it is paramount that the farmers take proactive measures and collaborate with RADA and other bodies to ensure the well-being of livestock and agricultural assets. Let us work together to mitigate risk and strengthen our resilience in the face of natural disasters, he concluded. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.